Have you ever woken from a dream feeling captivated by a mysterious figure, someone who seems like the perfect partner, yet you barely recognize them? Perhaps you felt a surge of warmth in your chest, a sense of longing or comfort that lingered well into your day. It's as though your nighttime reverie is hinting that there's more to you and to your emotional life than meets the eye. These dream figures can feel so real that they challenge our assumptions about what we truly desire and who we really are. Welcome to today's exploration, where we dive deep into the work of Carl Jung to understand how these idealized mates in our dreams might actually reflect the anima, a hidden dimension of your psyche that bridges your conscious self with untapped emotional truths. Before we begin, if you're intrigued by this journey and want to keep uncovering new layers of self-discovery, consider subscribing to this channel and joining our growing community of seekers. Have you noticed how our modern lives often push us to focus on external goals, career milestones, social media presence, and that endless pursuit of appearing successful? Yet something doesn't quite add up. Despite the outward achievements, we sometimes feel an inner void, especially when it comes to relationships. Why do we keep attracting similar partners with the same emotional patterns? Why do certain individuals, real or imagined, spark an otherworldly fascination that we can't fully explain? Maybe you've wondered if your subconscious is sending you cryptic messages. According to Jung, that's exactly what might be happening. We may be searching for fulfillment outside ourselves, but some of the richest insights come from within, especially in our dream life. Carl Jung, one of the founding voices of analytical psychology, introduced the concept of the anima in men and the animus in women to capture how the psyche contains elements of the opposite sex. The anima isn't just a dream character. It's a powerful force representing our inner emotional truth. It can guide us, challenge us, and reveal what we've long suppressed or disowned. This is more than just an esoteric idea. It has real-world implications for our emotional growth. By understanding the role of the anima, we can transform our relationships, deepen our self-awareness, and recognize how our nightly dreams can catalyze genuine awakening. Let's venture into the heart of Jung's perspective and see how these dream figures, ideal partners who appear in our sleep, might just be the gateway to a profound shift in our everyday lives. As you listen, keep in mind that our unconscious is vast, brimming with insights we often overlook in the hustle of daily life. The dream lover, that imagined perfect mate, might be a living symbol of the hidden areas in our psyche waiting to be integrated. Let's uncover how that process works and the remarkable transformation it can bring. When we talk about the anima, we're talking about the blueprint of our deeper emotional life, a lens that shapes how we perceive love, connection, and even creativity. Dreams that feature an enchanting partner, someone who seems to embody your unspoken yearnings, could be direct expressions of the anima at work. Because the psyche is always seeking wholeness, these dreams are an invitation to step beyond limiting beliefs about relationships and into a realm of authenticity. Ready to embark on this journey of awakening? Let's dive in. To begin, let's explore what the anima represents in theory, and then see how it manifests in everyday scenarios, both in dreamland and in waking life. Remember, it's not some distant mystical idea. It's a dynamic aspect of you that you can consciously engage with and learn from every step of the way. Now, if you're finding this topic as fascinating as I do, please remember to give this video a like. It helps support the channel and lets me know that you want to see more content delving into Jung's work. Let's keep going. The first step toward awakening is recognizing what's hiding beneath our usual awareness. You might think of the anima as your inner feminine, the wellspring of empathy, intuition, and emotional nuance if you identify as a man. Conversely, women have the animus, an inner masculine that encompasses qualities like assertiveness and rational discernment. But in a broader sense, the anima is the principle of emotional wisdom we each hold within, regardless of gender. We're just scratching the surface of what this means for your emotional patterns, especially where dreams are concerned. Consider a situation where you wake up from a dream feeling as though you've encountered the most soulful, caring person you've ever met. Perhaps in this dream, you laughed effortlessly, felt emotionally safe, and shared a profound connection without a single spoken word. Then you open your eyes to reality. There's no one lying beside you to match that vision, and you might feel a pang of disappointment. But here's the breakthrough. That dream figure could be a living manifestation of your anima, a reflection of qualities you yearn to embody in your waking life, but haven't fully owned yet. It's not just about romance or sexuality, though those elements may appear. It's an invitation to see how your deepest emotional yearnings are trying to guide you toward growth. Maybe you're longing for empathy, either from a partner or from yourself. Or perhaps you crave emotional vulnerability but fear exposing that side to others. The anima emerges in your dreams as if to say, these qualities are within you. Own them and let them shape your reality. Realizing this can lead to an aha moment, an epiphany that there's so much more to you than the identity you present in daily life. That's the first awakening, the recognition that we contain these hidden facets, and our dreams are pointing the way to deeper integration. Here's a relatable scenario. Imagine you're someone who prides yourself on being logical and level-headed. You keep your emotions in check and rarely open up to others. Yet, your dreams keep showing you a wise, nurturing female figure who seems to understand your every feeling without judgment. At first, you might dismiss these dreams as random fantasies, but the second you begin to ask, what if this dream figure represents my own capacity for empathy and emotional openness? You crack open a door to your unconscious. The more you entertain that question, the more your waking self might notice your emotional side wanting expression. Perhaps you find yourself comforting a friend more easily, or getting teary-eyed at a poignant film scene, symptoms that the anima is stirring within, calling you to allow that gentle aspect of yourself to breathe. Another everyday example. You're in a relationship, and your partner complains that you're emotionally distant. You argue that you're just not wired to be mushy, and you find it hard to empathize openly. Meanwhile, at night, you dream about a romantic figure who radiates unconditional love, a partner who seamlessly connects with you emotionally. Instead of dismissing it as an unrealistic fantasy, what if you recognize that this dream companion is a projection of your inner nurturer? Your psyche is practically handing you an opportunity to see what you're missing and gently urging you toward more heartfelt connection. Once you realize that, you can actively practice letting your guard down, perhaps scheduling weekly moments of authentic sharing with your real-life partner. Over time, you begin to see that dream figure merge with your waking persona, making you more emotionally available and, ultimately, more fulfilled. This leads us to the question, how do we cultivate a relationship with our anima so it doesn't just stay locked in dreamland? Jung believed that active imagination was a powerful technique for building a conscious dialogue with these inner figures. Think of it like inviting the dream figure to tea in your mind's eye, asking it questions, and letting it respond in a kind of waking dream. This might sound strange, but the logic is straightforward. Your unconscious mind speaks in symbols, images, and intuitions. When you actively imagine a conversation with your anima, you open a channel for these symbols to become clearer, for the emotional undercurrents to surface so you can work with them consciously. If you're skeptical, try this simple exercise. The next time you remember a vivid dream about an ideal mate, write it down in detail, everything from the setting to the emotional tone. Then ask yourself, What qualities did this figure embody? What was the emotional exchange like? Take a few calm minutes to let your mind wander and see if any new insights bubble up. You might notice a theme of tenderness, acceptance, or creativity. Then, challenge yourself to integrate those qualities into your daily life. If the dream figure was supportive, can you show more support to yourself or others? If it was brimming with passion, how can you unleash more creative energy in your work or hobbies? This practice not only honors your dream, but also invites real-life transformation. That's the second awakening, bridging the gap between the unconscious and the conscious realms, letting the lessons of your inner dream characters manifest in how you live and love. Let's take a more challenging scenario to show just how profound this can be. Suppose you're recovering from a painful breakup. Every night, you dream about a radiant companion who uplifts you and makes you feel whole. You wake up to heartbreak, only to realize that your dreams keep sprinkling hope and restoration in ways you can't explain. Now, if you interpret these dreams literally, you might think, I need to find this person in real life or I'll never be happy. But the anima's message often goes deeper. That dream is teaching you that the love, validation, and acceptance you seek outside can actually grow from within. By recognizing the healing presence of this inner figure, you may start to cultivate self-compassion, a trait that can free you from the cycle of seeking love solely from external sources. Instead of jumping into a new relationship out of desperation, you learn to become emotionally whole on your own. And once that wholeness is nurtured, your relationships take on a healthier dynamic. This is the power of the anima to transform personal crises into an impetus for genuine growth. Here, where we get to another revealing aspect of Jungian psychology, the persona and the shadow. The persona is the mask we show the world, our polished social identity. The shadow contains the parts of ourselves we hide or reject, including those gentle qualities the tough guy might deem too soft. The anima often resides in the shadow for individuals who disown their emotional needs. So if you identify only with your persona as stoic, logical, or independent, it's possible your dream figure is emerging from the shadow, calling for balance. Recognizing this tension helps you see how the anima can be overshadowed by cultural or personal beliefs that say emotions are weakness. But in truth, emotions can be a profound source of strength, creativity, and connection. That's the third awakening, embracing that the dream figure arises, in part, because of your shadow's longing to be acknowledged. Integrate this part of you, and you'll find that you move through the world more fully alive. A practical application here is mindfulness. The next time you feel an emotional wave coming on, maybe sadness, empathy, or a surge of tenderness, resist the urge to stuff it down. Instead, pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, how would my dream guide respond in this situation? Is there a part of me that wants to be compassionate instead of critical, vulnerable instead of guarded? Notice the subtle shifts in your body as you open to those feelings. This might seem small, but it's a game changer. Over time, your daily micro-decisions to honor your emotional truth start building a new habit. You become more attuned, more accepting, and more authentic, mirroring the qualities of that ideal mate you've seen in dreams. This is how you slowly but surely integrate your anima, making it a conscious ally instead of a fleeting, dream-only phenomenon. Now let's consider another real-world scenario. You're someone who's always on the go, chasing career goals, and you rarely slow down to check in with your inner world. Your dreams, meanwhile, keep featuring a calm, patient figure, someone who seems to say, slow down, breathe, connect with yourself. As you keep ignoring this message, you start feeling burned out, maybe even numb to small joys. Eventually, you recall a particularly vivid dream that leaves an impression on your heart, an image of that patient figure offering you a gift, maybe a glowing orb or a flower. If you interpret that gift as a symbol for self-care or emotional restoration, you might decide to realign your schedule, carve out weekly solitude, or reconnect with nature. And guess what? The next time that dream figure appears, you might feel a sense of accomplishment or relief, as though your unconscious is saying, "Thank you for listening." This is the synergy between dream symbolism and conscious action. It's the fourth awakening, realizing that the psyche is in constant communication with us, if only we pay attention and respond. Now you might be asking yourself, but is this all just me talking to me? How do I know it's not pure imagination? Jung would say that yes, it is your unconscious speaking, but that doesn't diminish its reality. In fact, the personal unconscious is an immensely powerful domain that shapes our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. We often wander through life only half aware of its influence. By recognizing the anima in dreams, we awaken to how our unconscious is actively trying to help us grow. That's not mere fantasy. That's the magic of the human psyche searching for balance and wholeness. One more tip to deepen your practice: keep a dream journal. As soon as you wake, jot down any dream fragments you remember. Over time, look for patterns. Do you see recurring characters, themes, or emotional tones? Maybe the same nurturing figure shows up repeatedly, but in different environments. This journaling process helps you decode the symbolic language of your unconscious. You start to see how certain real-life triggers, like an argument with a friend or a stressful deadline, manifest in your dreams through the lens of your inner archetypes, including the anima. It's like learning a new language, but the payoff is extraordinary. Self-awareness, emotional depth, and a newfound ability to shape your destiny rather than be driven by invisible forces. Reflect on this for a moment. How often do you let yourself embrace qualities that feel foreign or unconventional for your persona? If the answer is rarely, these dream appearances might be a sign that you're ready to expand your sense of who you are. That expansion is the ultimate promise of Jungian work. It's not merely about analyzing dreams for fun. It's about evolving into a more whole human being. By acknowledging the anima, you create space for a balanced interplay of strengths, both logical and intuitive, both firm and tender. That's the final awakening, discovering that the more you integrate these opposite qualities, the more vibrant and complete you feel. What could this look like in practical terms? For instance, if you're a leader in your workplace, integrating your anima might mean showing genuine concern for your team's emotional well-being, not just focusing on productivity. This fosters loyalty and harmony, and ironically, can boost performance more effectively than a purely rigid approach. Or if you're someone who struggles with anxiety in social settings, connecting with your anima might help you tap into a calm self-acceptance, letting you see that it's safe to share a bit of vulnerability. You might find that people respond positively, forging deeper bonds than you ever thought possible. The bottom line is this: your dreams are powerful indicators of what you need to integrate for your wholeness. That enchanting ideal mate who appears in your sleep is not a random cameo. It's a part of you, calling you to recognize and nurture qualities you've sidelined or forgotten. And as you do, you'll experience real changes, more empathy, emotional resilience, and meaningful relationships. This is how the anima reveals a deeper truth about your potential. Let's pause here for a self-reflection question. Have you ever experienced a dream companion who made you feel more complete than any real-life partner? What qualities did that companion have, and how might you cultivate those in your day-to-day interactions? Consider journaling your response or simply mulling it over in a quiet moment, because that question alone can spark shifts in how you perceive your inner and outer world. If you've stayed with me this far, I want to thank you for engaging so deeply with these ideas. It means you're on the verge of a transformative process, one that goes beyond intellectual understanding and into the realm of lived experience. This is your invitation to peel back the layers of your psyche and see what rich emotional treasures lie within. So, where do we go from here? Let's gather the threads of our conversation into a clear insight. First, Jung's concept of the anima offers a framework for understanding those dream figures that appear as ideal mates. Second, these figures aren't external fantasies so much as reflections of the qualities we crave and already hold in potential form. Third, by recognizing and integrating these qualities, we undergo a profound personal transformation. The changes show up in our relationships, our creativity, and even our sense of self-worth. Ultimately, the more we honor the anima, the more aligned we feel with the depth and mystery of our own being. How can you apply this wisdom? One step is to practice active imagination or journaling about your dreams, actively seeking the message behind the symbols. Another step is to notice when real-life experiences echo your dream scenarios. Does someone new come into your life who embodies qualities similar to your dream partner? Pay attention. That could be an external cue nudging you toward growth. Or maybe you sense a strong emotional reaction welling up in you, an opportunity to express a side of yourself you've kept hidden. Embrace it. Let the anima come forward. Finally, a practical step is to cultivate supportive relationships where you can safely explore your emotional range. Sometimes, close friends or a therapist can act as a mirror, helping you see qualities you've overlooked or denied. By taking these steps, you're not just analyzing dream symbols in a vacuum, you're actively weaving your inner revelations into the fabric of your daily life. It's this union of inner and outer that Jung championed, paving the way for genuine individuation, or the process of becoming who you truly are. As we come to a close, take a moment to sense the possibilities that await you. What if the long-sought ideal partner is an internal figure who can guide you to emotional freedom? What if your dreams aren't random illusions but precise, personal messages from the most authentic parts of your psyche? And what if, by learning to integrate the anima, you discover the kind of self-love and relational harmony that reshapes your entire worldview? From here on, you have a choice. Brush this off as an intriguing theory or embrace it as a living truth. If you choose the latter, be prepared for a journey that challenges your defenses and expands your horizons. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. We have a community of fellow explorers, each unlocking different facets of their unconscious. I encourage you to share your experiences, whether it's a vivid dream, a personal epiphany, or a question that nags at you, down in the comments below. Who knows, your insight could spark someone else's breakthrough. If you haven't done so yet, I invite you to subscribe and become part of this growing circle of learners. Your support and engagement enable more in-depth discussions and a shared environment where we can all deepen our understanding of Jung's timeless wisdom. Whether it's via likes, comments, or simply your attentive presence, each act of participation is a step toward collective awakening. As you move forward, remember that you have a powerful ally in your unconscious, and the anima is just one of its many guides. Whenever you sense the pull of a dream figure that resonates with your deepest longings, take it as an encouragement. Your psyche knows what it needs and is ready to transform. The only requirement is your willingness to listen. May this journey bring you closer to the wholeness you've always sensed was possible. May your dreams light the path toward integration, showing you that the love you seek, within and without, can be found by embracing all that you are. This isn't just about finding an ideal mate. It's about becoming the version of yourself who can love and be loved fully. Thank you for being here, for daring to look inward, and for sharing this moment of collective introspection. Until next time, keep exploring the silent, wondrous corridors of your mind, and remember that the answers you seek often lie in the very heart of your dreams.